I felt my creativity and drive slowly withering. My brain cells are dying one by one, I finally confessed to my supervisor. Are you tired of pretending the open office is your happy place? Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome to Antonia's Blissful Corner. To all my regular Blissful family, welcome back. You know how much I appreciate you being here. And if you're new here, I am so glad that you found this space. I'm Antonia, and we are here to explore introversion, share personal growth insights, and support each other in our journeys. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and join our growing community of mindful souls. Today's episode hits close to home. We are uncovering the hidden reasons why introverts are waving goodbye to corporate America. In part two of our deep dive, I am pulling back the curtain on 5 more eye-opening reasons why our fellow quiet warriors are choosing to rewrite their career stories. Miss part one? Don't worry. It'll be there for you when you need some alone time to catch up. But right now, we're about to explore not just why introverts quit, but how to harness our introvert superpowers to reshape our work life. From finally speaking up in meetings without the anxiety hangover to creating boundaries that stick, I am sharing battle tested strategies that honor your need for peace while propelling your career forward. Ready to transform those I can't do this anymore moments into I got this victories? Let's dive in at our own thoughtful pace, of course. We reviewed reasons 1 to 5 in part 1. So this is reason 6, micromanagement. Picture this. You're in the zone, tackling a project you're excited about when your phone buzzes again for the 5th time today. It's your manager again asking for just a quick update. Your heart sinks a little, doesn't it? If this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone, especially if you're an introvert navigating the challenges of micromanagement. We introverts often do our best work when we can dive deep into tasks, finding our flow in those precious moments of uninterrupted focus. That's why having someone constantly peek over your virtual shoulders can feel like somebody trying to read a book while someone is rapidly flipping through the pages. Sucks. I've been on both sides of the desk. As a manager, I discovered that trust is like a garden. It needs space to grow. I learned to adapt my style to each team member, giving more support to those who needed it while creating breathing room for others to shine independently. And when I found myself under the microscope of a micromanager, well, that taught me the importance of open dialogue about expectations and working styles. Here's what worked for me. Instead of letting frustration simmer, I started having honest conversations about workflow. Simple things like saying, I notice I do my best work when I can focus deeply for a few hours. Could we set up some specific check-in times? That can make a huge difference. It did for me. One time I had a manager who wanted hourly updates. Yes, hourly. Rather than letting it drain my energy, I suggested a shared project tracker that, well, they can check it anytime. It gave them the ability they craved while giving me the space I needed to actually get things done. It's a win-win situation. I'd love to hear from you, your story. Have you ever dealt with a micromanager? And if so, how did it affect you? And what creative solutions did you find? Please share your experience in the comments below. Sometimes the best strategies come from our shared wisdom. Please remember, you can advocate for your needs while still being a team player. Sometimes all it takes is a thoughtful conversation to bridge the gap between different working styles. Reason number 7, lack of growth opportunities. Is your quiet nature sabotaging your career growth? Picture this. The meeting room falls silent after a colleague's enthusiastic presentation. While they bask in the immediate praise, you sit there knowing your meticulously researched report from last week barely earned a nod. Sound familiar? For introverts, career stagnation isn't just frustrating, it's soul crushing. We pour our hearts into detailed analysis and thoughtful solutions, often operating behind the scenes. But in a world that seems to reward the loudest voice, our depth can go unnoticed. The result? Watching from the sidelines as others climb the ladder while our own growth gathers dust. Take Sarah, a brilliant data analyst who consistently delivered insights that transformed her company's strategy. Yet, she was passed over for leadership roles because she didn't command enough presence in meetings. Her story echoes across conference rooms everywhere where expertise loses to extroversion. The pandemic added another layer to this challenge. As organizations shifted into survival mode, professional development took a backseat. Virtual meetings became another arena where introverts had to fight harder to be seen, heard, and valued. I live this reality myself. After 3 years at a promising company, I felt my creativity and drive slowly withering. My brain cells are dying one by one, I finally confessed to my supervisor. And despite her efforts to vary my workload, I was trapped in a cycle of routine tasks when I craved intellectual challenges. It took the courage to leave for me to finally break free. But here's the truth: you don't have to choose between being authentic and being visible. Your thoughtful nature is a strength, not a liability. The key is learning to advocate for yourself in ways that feel natural to you. Start with regular one on one meetings with your manager. These intimate settings play to your strengths, allowing the deep, meaningful conversations where introverts thrive. Come prepared with specific goals and growth opportunities you've identified. Remember, seeking growth isn't about changing who you are, it's about ensuring your quiet impact gets the recognition it deserves. What's your story? When did you realize your career had hit a plateau and how did you navigate through it? Please share in the comments below. Reason number 8, toxic work environment. Have you ever felt that tone in your stomach every Sunday evening, dreading the week ahead? That feeling might be telling you something important. Sometimes the problem isn't you, it could be your workplace. For introverts, a toxic work environment can feel like being trapped in a room where the music's too loud and everyone is speaking a different language. And it's just chaotic. The constant hum of office politics, the pressure to speak up more in meetings, and the expectations to always be on can leave you feeling drained and disconnected from your natural strengths. Picture Tony, a brilliant analyst who thrives on deep, focused work. In her office, decisions are often made by those who speak the loudest in meetings, while thoughtful written proposals go unread. Or consider James, who excels at one on one interactions but finds himself exhausted by a workplace culture that prizes constant collaboration and after hours socializing over actual results. I remember my own experience with workplace toxicity, watching office drama unfold from my desk like a reluctant audience member. The breakthrough came when I realized I had a choice. I could either let the environment consume me or protect my peace. I chose the latter, stepping away from gossip circles and creating boundaries. Yes, I ate lunch alone most times. Yes, I was labeled antisocial by some, but protecting my mental health was worth more than fitting into any broken system. Here's what I learned. Your sensitivity to toxic environments isn't a weakness. It's your internal compass pointing you toward healthier spaces. So whether you choose to document issues, speak with HR, or plan your exit strategy, remember that prioritizing your well-being isn't just self-care, it's self-preservation. What's your story? When did you realize your workplace was affecting your mental health? And what steps did you do or take to protect yourself? Please share in the comments below. Reason number 9, miscommunication and misunderstanding. Have you ever felt like you're speaking a different language at work? If you're an introvert in the corporate world, chances are you know exactly what I mean. It's not that we don't have valuable contributions to make, we just express them differently. Picture this: you're in a meeting, taking in every word, processing ideas, and forming thoughtful connections. Your mind is alive with insights, but to others, your quiet presence might read as disengaged. The truth, you're like a master chef carefully crafting the perfect dish, while others are just throwing ingredients into the pot. I understand this deeply. In meetings, I often find myself choosing careful reflection over quick responses. When someone turns to me with that familiar "anything to add" question, I've learned that it's okay to say, "I'd like to think this through and share my thoughts afterwards." This isn't a weakness. It's actually one of our superpowers as introverts. We process differently, we process deeply, And when we do share, it's often worth the wait. And let's talk about those afterward gatherings. You know the ones, loud venues, endless small talk, and the subtle drain on your energy reserves. While our extroverted colleagues might thrive in these settings, we often find ourselves searching for graceful exits. During required office events, we might gravitate towards smaller conversations or find meaningful ways to contribute that don't involve being the center of attention. And that's perfectly okay. I've learned that being an introvert isn't something to fix or overcome. It's a valuable perspective to embrace. Some of the most innovative solutions and insightful observations come from those quiet moments of reflection that we naturally gravitate toward. Tell me, when has your thoughtful nature been misunderstood at work? How did you navigate it? I would love to hear your story, and I'm sure many others would find strength in knowing they're not alone in this experience. Please remember your quiet strength is an asset. Consider having an open conversation with your team about how you work best. Maybe it's following up meetings with written insights or having one on one discussions where your ideas can truly shine. When we help others understand our process, we create space for all communication styles to thrive. After all, it's not about becoming the loudest voice in the room, it's about finding authentic ways to let our valuable voice be heard. Reason number 10, poor work life balance. Are you living to work or working to live? We have all been there. You know, that moment when you realize your job has slowly crept into every single corner of your life. For my fellow introverts, especially, this hits differently. You know, that bone deep exhaustion when you haven't had a moment to yourself in days? When making small talk in yet another meeting feels like scaling Mount Everest? I remember those days all too well. Picture this, rushing to catch the 6 a.m. train, laptop always within arm's reach, and that guilty feeling when you dare to take a lunch break without checking emails. The pre pandemic world was a hamster wheel of commutes and commitments that left us running on empty all the time. And just when we thought working from home would be our sanctuary, plot twist! Now our living rooms have become our offices, and logging off feels like a distant dream. For those of us who need quiet time to recharge, having work literally at home can feel like a house guest who, well, a guest that never wants to leave. I used to wear my always on work ethic like a badge of honor. First one in, last one out, answering emails from the beach. Yes, really. It took a wake up call for me to realize that my relationships were suffering and my creative spark, well, it was dimming. The hardest lesson was learning that the world wouldn't stop spinning if I took time for myself. What about you? Has your work ever felt like it was stealing the joy from other parts of your life? Maybe you've missed important moments with loved ones or found yourself too drained to enjoy your favorite hobbies. I would love to hear your story and how you navigated through it. Please remember, your worth is not measured by your productivity. Creating boundaries isn't selfish, it is survival. Start small. Maybe it's setting an alarm to signal the end of your workday, creating a dedicated workspace you can physically leave, or making your weekend plans as non negotiable as your most important meeting. Your time is precious, and you deserve to spend it on more than just work. After all, we work to support our lives, not the other way around. Yay! We've just explored the final 5 reasons why introverts often step away from corporate life. And I can already see many of you nodding along. It's a journey that so many of us know intimately, isn't it? Here's what fills me with hope. You have so much more power than you realize. Your introversion isn't something to overcome, it's a strength waiting to be unleashed. Whether it's having that honest conversation with your manager about needing quiet time to recharge or creating boundaries that protect your energy, every small step counts. It counts towards building a work life that truly fits you. If you're looking for more insights and strategies to unlock your potential, please don't forget to check out my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. If these topics resonate with you, You'll find even more strategies and insights inside my book. You can grab your copy at societyofintroverts.com or online anywhere books are sold. I absolutely love connecting with this community. If you haven't already, join our growing family by subscribing to Antonia's Blissful Corner and clicking that notification bell. And please don't forget to catch part 1 of this series. It's going to be up here, wherever, somewhere over here. It's packed with even more insights about our introvert journey together. Your quiet nature is your superpower, and I'm here to help you embrace it fully. Thank you for spending this time with me. See you in our next Heart to Heart. Bye.